everyone, and welcome to the Winter Wonderland book tag. This is a very popular tag that has been going around on BookTube for about the past month, I want to say. And again, I was not tagged, but I'm gonna do it anyway because YOLO. So the first question of this tag is, what book is so happy and sweet that it just warms your heart to the core? For that, I chose This Lullaby by Sarah Dessen. This Lullaby is my favorite Sarah Dessen novel. I've only read about 6 of them, but so far this is my favorite. It's also the first one I ever read, so I have a lot of nice memories with it. And I love this book so much. The characters are so relatable. The plot line is just, and it's just so beautiful. And it makes me want to cry tears of happiness because of how sweet it is. The second question is, what is your favorite book with a white cover? For this one, I chose What's Left of Me by Kat Zhang. This isn't really popular around BookTube, which is kind of surprising, but it does have a white cover. It looks kind of like blue on my webcam, but it's not, I promise you, it's white. This book is basically about a person who is born with 2 souls, and that is the type of society that they live in. And the recessive soul just goes away after a period of time, and the dominant soul takes over the body. Eve and Addie, however, still share the same body even after like 17 years later, and no one knows. So yeah, this is a really great premise for a book, and I loved it, honestly. I think it was one of my favorite reads of 2012 or something. Question number 3. You're sitting in a nice comfy chair wearing a onesie with a lovely warm hot chocolate, but what monster read are you reading? The Sweet Far Thing by Libba Bray. This book is flippin' huge. It's 820 pages, and it's so big. Just look at it. It took me about a day to read it though, because the Gemma Doyle trilogy is my favorite trilogy. One of my favorite trilogies, like, ever. I love it so much. If you have not picked up this trilogy, this is the 3rd book in it, then I definitely recommend it. Highly recommend it. Question number 4. It starts snowing, so you decide to have a snowball fight. What fictional character would you love to have a snowball fight with? I chose Maxon from The Selection because he's just like one of the best male love interests I have ever read about. He is just so sweet and so caring and just nice and funny. And it's so hard to find books with main characters like that. Usually they're all the brooding, like, elusive type who's got a bad boy streak or something. And I'm not really into guys like that. I like nice guys who don't treat me like shit. So Maxon from The Selection. Question number 5. Sadly, your fire is beginning to go out. So what book would you tear the last few chapters out to throw into the fire? The Book Thief by Marcus Zuzak. This is my favorite book of all time. Legitimately, it is the best book I have ever read, and I just love it so much, and I cry every time I read the ending of it. Every time. Never fails. So if I could just tear those last few chapters out and maybe rewrite a happy ending for everyone, I would probably not love it as much as I do, but it would make me a lot happier inside to know that not all of my favorite characters died. So, yeah. And the last question is, what book is so close to your heart that you would gift it to someone this Christmas who hasn't read before but wants to get into reading? The first series I would recommend anyone who wants to get into reading to read is the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. I mean, if you haven't read Harry Potter, I don't know what you're doing with your life, because it's like the biggest book series ever, legitimately. Like, seriously, 50 Shades of Grey is the only thing that's bigger, and that's just because people are weird. So, Harry Potter, definitely. Another book I might recommend to someone is The Fifth Wave by Rick Yancey. This is one of the best books I've read in 2013. It was just so great. So, for a lesser-known book, definitely The Fifth Wave, but for a more well-known book, Harry Potter. So that was it for the Winter Wonderland book tag. It was kind of short, not really much to say, only 6 questions, but I had fun doing it. I hope you had fun watching it. I tag you. If you're watching this video, I want you to do it right now, okay? Bye-bye!